Everybody, it is August 12th, 2016. It's good to see you, so to speak. What I have up here today is some ancient South American art from ancient times. And basically, I'm going to come back and refer to this, but the two things you see is this kind of multiple ringed object, and then you see this hourglass object. What's interesting about those, as you're going to see, is it looks like maybe they saw some of the things back then that we're seeing today. Let me give you an example. You see these strange, like you know, call it multi-circular circle within a circle pictures that I've captured over the last several months, and you can see that same shape, that same kind of orientation that we're seeing in this cave art here, right? So here's one from Webcam to Mexico, and again, this is the actual object. This is a refraction of the object. I believe that this object and the one that we caught on Sechi the other day is the same object. Okay? Let's go back to that Sechi image real quick. I know you're getting sick of looking at it, but it's really critically important, I think, what we're looking at there. Well, let's grab one of the Sechis. Let's grab this one here. So, you can see that it's got rings in it, kind of like, and if I was looking at it straight on, it might have that multiple ring appearance, right? So that's what I'm working on today, just kind of seeing if I can find pictures that would match with this ancient cave drawing, right? And see if indeed it has been something that has been caused, has happened before in the earth. So here's some other ones. Carlisle Tower, this is from a few months ago. Again, seeing that this kind of multiple thing. And again, I just think it's the same thing. I think that as it's approaching, it's having plasma reactions with our own sun, causing that hourglass shape, if you're looking at it sometimes, and then other times this multiple ring effect. This one was the most compelling of all because look at how similar it looks to the cave art. Let's take the cave art. Gosh, I'm not good at organizing my pictures today. But here's that cave art, and just check it out, man. Doesn't that look similar? And I believe that's what you see when you look at the star straight on. When you look at Nemesis straight on, you get this multiple thing going on like this, right? Let's take another picture. Another look at another picture. This is from Pompano Beach, Florida. This is just a weird flare that I caught in the middle of the sky, and it looked like a plasma flare type thing. But here's some of those pictures from Leon from months ago. And again, that thing that's following or follows the sun at sunrise. I think it's the same object, you guys. I think that's the same object. And let me pull in really close to it so you can see what I'm talking about. It's not just a single light. It is actually multiple colors. So again, this is the theory that we're working on today, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about the declination of Mars relative to what possibly could have been found by the Sechi photograph that we saw. And just wanted to kind of point that all out. And then here's a picture. It's got it all. It's got the chemtrails going on. We got the second orb in the background. I mean, it's just a beautiful shot. All right, let's get on with some more stuff here. Can you explain that one before you run off of it?
Which one?
This moon track astrology.
Yes, sir. So what they do, they've gone in here, they use the stars and the map, and they make their observations on the planets. And here you can see, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a severe declination to the moon, and here we are right here on the 11th. And it's going to peak out on the 15th.
That indicates a dip below the ecliptic, zero being...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what we have here is the sun, which the sun is heading, as you can see, as it should. Now, it's Mars that's got me, and this is what alerted me to these guys. They're measuring a 6.5 degree declination off the axis of Mars.
That's Mars, got it. And that's in the pink area.
Yes, sir. And there you can read it. Transits outside bounds are in the pink areas. So Mars is deviating. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what BP says. I don't care what NASA says. These guys are taking the same readings, and they say, hey, something ain't right here. And you know, you go through their whole things and they explain the declinations, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can see how they set this thing up. And so I've done, their math is right.
Well, this is for astrology, right?
Exactly. They have to be right.
It's a very important for them to have everything right for their, for what they do. So
I have a friend, Dale Sides, as I've told you. He is a prolific author, but he believes, taking from Genesis and the book of Enoch, God taught Enoch, he taught Adam astrology because star constellation signs are important. Today we all say it's coming out of Sagittarius, but we never stop and ask ourselves, well, is there a science behind this? Now, modern day soothsayers have hijacked the science. These guys have a tendency, I think, I've looked at it, they're very accurate on what they're measuring. So, you can argue their theology, but you can't argue their science.
No, and while we're looking at that, I'm going to pull up Solar System Scope just for the fun of it.
Yeah, here, I'll show this back to you. I'll give this back to you, brother.
Mars is declinating.
Yes, sir, it is. Over 6.5%. Do you have your screen back, or did I still have it?
Nope, I got it. I just got to... Nope, you still have it.
Okay. What did I do? Hit stop share?
Yep.
Okay. It's back to you.
All right. Let's say that the closest planet to Saturn right now is Mars.
Yes.
Venus is a little further away.
Yeah, Venus has hauled ass onto the other side.
And the other thing that I want to point out is that the moon is on that side of the planet. See it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
So again, there's another indication that what we might. Oh gosh, Wayne, that's bad.
So turn that on the southern ecliptic. The plane. There we go. There we go. There.
Back it out a little bit so you can see Saturn.
Yeah. So what we're seeing, look where Ceres is at too, by the way. So we know, I think over here on the left.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, listen, I'm not suffering from the Mandela effect. When I was growing up, Ceres was never there. So, we're finding new things. So I saw the triangle last night. So that was Mars,
yep, Mars,
Saturn, and what was that? Was that Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter?
Yep, that's what I would say right there.
And I mean, it's the strangest triangle in the sky. I mean, it really is. So what is happening to Mars?
Well, there's two things that I have to ask. Number one, the moon is also supposed to be on the ecliptic. It was clearly not on the ecliptic last night, my friend. It just wasn't. Number two, Mars, the moon, Saturn, all seem to be in play here because if this thing is indeed sitting somewhere in here, right?
Yep.
That would, let's say it's approaching from here. Let's see where Sagittarius is here. Sagittarius. Should be low. There it is.
Okay, so Sagittarius is almost on the ecliptic, right? The red line is the ecliptic, right?
Yeah, it is. It would be on the ecliptic because all of our constellations are on the ecliptic. Those are the constellations on the ecliptic. That's what that is.
Okay. All right, there we go. So you could see how far the moon was off on the natural ecliptic because, I understand the moon deviates. Get it?
Saturn. There's Saturn.
Yeah.
There's the moon. Where's Mars?
There it is.
That's the triangle you were seeing. Mars, Saturn, and Jupiter, right? Let's see.
Believe it was. Where's the other one?
It should be just above the horizon. There it is.
Jupiter. There it is.
That's the triangle you were seeing.
It was beautiful. But, so what's causing Mars to perturbate? I mean, something's disturbing either the orbit or the axis.
Okay, so this isn't the first time that we've seen the 6-degree declination of Mars. Number one, record.
That's correct.
I'm going to record the facts that we're laying here. Number two, the picture that we saw from the H1 was showing the object out near Saturn.
Yep.
Either it's near Saturn, it's either behind Saturn or in front of Saturn. You know what I mean? It's hard to say because it could have been a clue. It could have been messing with the whole image, right? But let's say it's somewhere in the general area, and it is definitely coming out of Sagittarius. So that matches with the Spaniards who have come out and said that they've been observing this now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the same spot that we found on the H1 camera. And Mars is at a 6% declination, so and it's declinated below the ecliptic, right?
That's correct.
So that means this thing is down in here somewhere. It's probably coming up from Sagittarius like this, and then Mars started getting pulled to it. If it's close enough to start pulling Mars to it, dude.
I think the question I have though is it still out there in the Kuiper belt, or has it now transgressed into the outer solar systems? And that's the question I'm asking myself. Are we just seeing the effects of the gravitational pull, or are we actually seeing evidence of something much closer and much more localized? That's the question I'm asking.
Hey, have you guys caught this story today? This is just one of many writers that wrote on it, but the identified object out past Neptune. Paul Begley was even talking about it today, but I wanted to touch on it because it's in that same Sagittarius region that we've been talking about, generally speaking. And basically what they're talking about is that its orbit indicates that it's been bumped, or it's with a different body than our solar system. And basically, it's not the first time a trans-Neptunian object has been discovered with a retrograde orbit. But when you combine it with Niku's orbital tilt, it becomes clear that there's something unusual about this. It's a minor planet. It suggests that there's more going on in the solar system than we're aware of. Duh. And basically, they go on. It's very, very faint. It's probably about 200 kilometers in diameter, and it's just a bizarre orbit. And again, angular momentum suggests that this particular thing is not part of our solar system, and either that or was knocked out of its orbit somewhere down the road. Go check out the article. There's plenty more articles on that you can go look at, but I wanted to make sure we mentioned that today in the recording. Here's Fort Yukon East in Alaska today. You know, starting the sunrise with the strange, things going on around the sun. But check out what happens when you go through the morning there. Look familiar to anybody? It's that ring, those rings, that weird lens flare. And why is the lens flare behind the sun like that? That's weird, isn't it? I wonder if that bright object is the object of interest here, Here's another cool one from this morning. Again, this is from Port Lions in the FAA cams in Alaska. But the reason I wanted to show this one is look at the hourglass shape of that. Of that flare. And it recedes back like that. It's just so weird. And again, I think these are all kind of reflections of that object that we saw in the SETI images.